How's it going, guys? Dylan from If Cars Could Talk, and I hope everyone's doing well today. Now, no, I haven't been supersized, and no, this hasn't been microsized. This is a real car, or should I say scooter. You see, this is the BMW Isetta, but really in retrospect, it resembles more of a scooter. I mean, its motor is from a scooter, and well, it's about the same size as one. But the really interesting thing is it was sold as a car by one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. So yeah, this thing is really small. And well, it's kind of insane to think a car like this could have existed in the first place. I mean, we're driving this thing down the road and it's snapping more necks than a Lamborghini. And well, for good reason. It is just insane looking. But why the hell does this thing exist, and how, and what are the roots, what are its DNA, what created this strange small object? Well, it came from a proposition. A company named ISO, a scooter company, maybe you can see the DNA already, propositioned BMW, a sports car company. They said, we don't want to be a scooter company anymore, we want to be a car company, damn it, and we want to make a sports car. So BMW said, that's crazy enough to work, let's do it. In Germany during this time, there was a law that said if you drove tiny clown cars, you only needed a motorcycle license. So it was basically a way of selling more cars to, well, more people less worthy of driving one. Now this is my personal Smart 4.2. And yeah, you're probably thinking right now that this guy's kind of got a thing for small cars. I promise you it's no fetish, and you know what they say, small car. Anyway, this is a tiny car. Allow me to show you how tiny. But allow me to shatter the record with this next one. And that is somehow even tinier. And just look at it. But I don't mean to burst your bubble, this is not the smallest car in the world. Some of you may remember a Top Gear episode, well, that featured, let's say, a large Jeremy Clarkson driving a Peel P50, the actual world's smallest car, and he drove it through the BBC offices. The Guinness World Records deemed this Peel P50 as the smallest car in the world in 2010. However, it came out in 1962, so it's been the reigning champ, well, for quite a while now, and maybe it's because I don't think there's much competition trying to make tiny cars. That measured at 4.4 feet long instead of the 7.5 feet of the Isetta, and it's 3.05 feet wide instead of the 4.5 feet wide on the Isetta. So it's essentially the same length as the width of this Isetta. And this thing is tiny. I mean, look at me next to it. I could lie next to it and I'm literally the size of it. That just gives you an idea of, well, the fact that things could get even smaller. So we're not going to go on the subject of how tiny this thing is. We're going to talk about how it's a scooter. So yes, unfortunately, this isn't the smallest car in the world. But then again, as I said, I think it's a scooter. So it's won a new record in my book. It's probably the biggest scooter in the world. And here's a list of the reasons why this thing is a scooter. By the way, look at this absolutely awesome front opening door. Right. Now, first thing is well, it's a 12-inch high wheel. It's got biscuit tires that are about 4.8 inches wide. It's only got a 5-gallon gas tank. It only weighs 770 pounds. It only fits, well, 1 to 2 people uncomfortably, which sounds about right with a moped. And it also has a single cylinder, which, well, reads about 300 cc's. And if any of you know what a cc is, well, that's how you measure the size of motorcycle engines. Oh, and there's absolutely no storage anywhere. So yes, a classic issue on motorcycles is there's no storage. And as you can see, this car isn't exactly big. First of all, the door literally opens frontwards, which moves the steering wheel, which is kind of the most Germanly brilliant thing I've ever seen. Other than, well, the Porsche cup holders that fold into the air vents, which they eliminated for some dumb reason. But anyway, let's go inside and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So this storage shelf is pretty much all you have. There is no trunk. In fact, this front-facing door resembles more of a trunk. Look at what it literally looks like in here. Things are just stuffed in different areas. So you have the shifter, you have the handbrake, little stickers just to show you where the choke and all these things are. The heater, which happens to be under here because it's stuffed there. Oh, wait. I found a pocket for storage. Hold on. This is the trunk of the BMW Isetta. Now guys, there is something I want to use this video to highlight, an epidemic one would call it. Many of you are aware of cow tipping, where you go on a farm and find an unsuspecting sleeping cow and tip it over. Now, many of you probably have heard of this, but there's a big issue going around, and it started with the smart car called smart car tipping. That's right, people in the night would come up to your smart car and try to tip it over. Now, when I found out this wasn't in fact the tiniest car ever made, I was pretty disappointed. However, I have a counter to that world record. In fact, I have 4 reasons why this is the smallest car ever made. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, this has 4 wheels, and, well, according to the legal definition of a motorcycle, which allow me to read to you for 1 second. Includes some forms of 3-wheelers as motorcycles, which means that Peel P50, the known world's smallest car, well, that only has 3 wheels. So I'm disqualifying it and including this Isetta as the smallest car ever made with 4 wheels. Good job, Isetta. Alright, so the owner is graciously allowing me to try this out. We can fit. You had the wrong approach. Alright, this is going to be a little personal. I should get. Oh, yeah, you get the door from there. Wow. This thing is nuts. There's actually room for us in here. And I noticed the clutch is separated between the steering wheel, which is interesting. A lot of vibrations already. That's crazy. What a view. This thing is hilarious. Everything's cute about it. My voice is literally echoing in here too. It's almost like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can fit myself and my 2 kids in it.
No way.
In fact, I'm going to go pick my daughter up old school in it.
No way. That's a cool entrance. So I've told you its story. Now let's walk around this specific 1959 BMW Isetta for sale. And believe it or not, it only has 13,000 miles. Although that does kind of make sense because I can't imagine you could take this on very long trips. But I mean, low mileage nonetheless for such an old car. And the first thing I'm going to say, I'm just going to do a quick walk around just with, what I think about it. It's got that 60s beautiful curvaceousness to it. And you got to think, this is a tiny little car, but the 60s always found a way to make things look beautiful, curvaceous. The two-tone is absolutely gorgeous with the white and red. And it's not an ugly car. It tapers very much like a Rolls-Royce Phantom even. And well, it's cute as well. It's lovable, it's likable. The owner said you drive this thing around, it just puts smiles on people's faces, and ironically you'll snap more necks than, well, someone driving a Lamborghini. It has all of the original little badging and everything like that. It's had a total frame-off restoration. So a lot of the buttons, all those things are new. Things were replaced appropriately, it looks like, not overdone. And it's the original paint color. And it's got those little, rare things like the stickers that looks like they were kept and things like that. It's got this sunroof. It's where you just fold it back. No electronics there. It's got luxury to it, and it's this tiny, looks like a commuter car would have been back then. Best thing, of course, as I mentioned in the video, is this. The door literally opens from, well, the front, and the steering wheel action is fascinating. It's very German. As I also said, it's almost beautiful in the sense that, those Porsche cup holders that used to shoot out, and now they've replaced because they're idiots. Yeah, that's kind of like that. And it's just interesting, and you got this plaid interior as well to match. But it's very bare inside. It's just whoa, God, I'm a little too big for this. But it's interesting. It looks like the clutch is actually separated from the brake, from the accelerator. It's really just funky as hell, honestly. And let's see if we can close it. And then you just do the little latch like that. Wouldn't be the best thing in a crash, I'm assuming. Someone coming straight ahead of you, but I mean, what a unique car. Look how cute everything is. It's tiny. You got one little storage pocket. But it's kind of got everything you need. It even has a bloody heater under your feet, which is kind of funny. So this is the BMW Isetta, and if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description. It's just a cool car. The owner's a really nice guy, and it's been really loved. So that is the story of the BMW Isetta, a car more born from the DNA and the origins of a, well, scooter. And in addition to that, according to my determination, the smallest car ever made on 4 wheels. And how cool is that? I just want to give the owner a big thank you for giving me the opportunity to get in front of this car. This is why I do these videos, to be in front of these fascinating cars. It's not for the views, not for anything like that. It's so that I can have an excuse to convince someone to let me be next to something like that. And if you are as in love with this car as I am, please check the link below. The owner's information is most likely going to be there. At the very least, you're going to have a link to Bring a Trailer or some other sites where you can go view this car and hopefully set up a meeting to buy it and own a perfect example of, well, history. Now guys, if you want to see me on more things, I'm of course on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And well, if you want to see what type of equipment I use, check the Amazon links below. Guys, if you liked the video, give it a like. And if you want to see, well, more of me more often, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!
Kiss the good life, good, kiss the good life.